Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to your Fortnite news. I am 2K and a big day for compared to Fortnite, a big day for Fortnite in general. Update day is always great. As well, apart from the fact that we don't have patch notes, a lot of the time we're able to figure out, obviously now we have the supporter creator code emails that go out where they are informed of what's going to go in, and then people plaster that all over Twitter. So we're able to get a good idea of what's changing. And as we got that email last night, I was sort of dreading it, right? I finished watching a basketball match, the Raptors versus the Celtics, intense excitement, Twitter timeline was buzzing, everyone was excited. Then I see the news that, hey, look, we're going to have a new mythic items into the game, new mythic POI, and even and drones that from the description seemed like they were going to act like marauders, and so I was dreading it. I wasn't excited, I wasn't positively excited, at least. I was excited to see, but it wasn't necessarily all the most positive thoughts. Now, what I will say now that we have the update is Epic got a lot of this one right. Right, we have a situation where a new mythic POI has been added, which we'll get to later. New mythic items have been added to the game, but not to Arena. That is amazing. That is exactly the kind of thing what we have been waiting for. It's great because from what these new mythic items look like in the regular game, they look busted. They look silly. And it's one of them things where if we had to play with these items in the game, it would be non-stop complaints. We as a community, you know how we are. We can complain, and we're already complaining. So if these new items had been added to the game, it would have been out of this world. However, all we've seen is positivity so far because the new mythic POI that was added, it seems amazing. It's a Stark Industries lab. It's Stark Industries. We always knew it was going to come to the game. As soon as the season was announced, it had been leaked and whatnot that this was going to come to the game. This is almost perfect, it seems, right? We have a situation where we have a massive POI that a lot of people are attracted to. It has a decent amount of loot. The vault there is insane. To access the vault, you have to take out Tony Stark, Iron Man, but you do not actually have to. You don't get any mythic items from him, right? He just drops a key card and you go loot the vault. The vault is insane. A large amount of loot from the vault. I've seen crazy clips so far today of people posting, where they get 5 purple pumps from the vault or whatnot. It's got some amazing loot. And everyone's seeming to land there. Obviously, it's the first day, you get that. But this is really giving me, sort of Tilted Towers vibes where everyone's sort of landing in this area, and it's super exciting. And I'm super excited to see how it plays out. I think in solos, where we have NA West DreamHack happening this weekend, NA East next weekend, and EU the weekend after that, with all these events, with all these solo events happening, I believe this is going to be a POI that people, split. We're going to see a dominant friend group come in and split this POI because the loot available here is crazy. It takes up a large portion of the map. I'm sure you're watching this and you've already played it, you've already seen it in game. But it's a massive POI that people are going to be attracted to. People are going to be dropping there. We've already had a couple trios trying to claim this as their spot. It'll be interesting to see who's actually going to be able to alpha and really dominate it because it is strong, right? You don't get any mythic items from it, but it is strong, right? And just from the way the vault is alone, this is probably the strongest POI in the game. Regardless of mythics or no mythics, this place is great to land at. And so I'm really excited to see how it plays in competitive gameplay. What I will say is there were 6 new mythic POIs added, 6 new mythic items added to the game. None of them were added to Arena. That is positive. However, no mythic items were removed from Arena, and that is the key. They didn't, it's 2 steps forward, right? We hear this being talked about all the time with competitive Fortnite. 2 steps forward. No new mythics added to the game, great. But a step back because you didn't remove the mythics already in the game. Doom's still in the game, Silver Surferboard's still in the game, and Groot's still in the game, and these are mythic items that people want removed. We do not want mythics in competitive Fortnite. That is a general consensus of the community. People don't like the way they affect competitive Fortnite, and I perfectly understand it, and I see it. I don't want another season ruined by the fact that all we're talking about is who's landing at what POI to get what mythic items. I believe there is a chance that, some of the new mythic items, so I keep saying POI, some of the new mythic items could be added to the game moving forward in the future. Because the reality is, you know, Epic have let us know that when they add items to the game, there is a probation period before they get added to Arena or whatever. And so the fact that mythic items are still in Arena, it's just none of the new ones, means that there's a chance that they could add these new mythic items into Arena, which I can't stress enough would be terrible. If you've seen some of these, if you've played regular solos, duos, squads, whatever it is you can play, you will see how ridiculous some of these items can be. Milnor, Thor's Hammer, you know, Tony Stark's blasters or whatever. I just don't want to see it in competitive Fortnite. I'll be honest. I personally don't want to see those things in competitive Fortnite. And so if this is something that changes down the line, you know, you can expect community outrage. That's the reality. That is the reality. You can expect some form of community outrage. Moving forward, though, I think it's important to highlight the fact that with this change, with this new update, we did not see 100% chest spawns reverted. You know, we still have 50% chest spawns in competitive Fortnite in Arena. And this is the one biggest thing single-handedly that I think everybody wants to change. Everybody wants to go back to 100%. I think the only good can be done from changing it back to 100%. Tell me one negative of them changing it back. You probably can't give me a valid one. The positives outweigh the negatives, you know, a million to one. And it's one of them things where I believe, you know, there is a chance for change. Team Rumble has 100% chest spawns. Remember that, guys. Team Rumble has it. We can have it if Team Rumble has it. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of these things where I'd like to hope. You know, I'd like to hope that this is one of those things that eventually gets changed. You know, whether we will know that for certain, I don't know. If we get any developments on it, you know, I will do my best to try and inform you on that. But the reality is, this season is 1 or 2 changes away from being one of the best seasons of competitive Fortnite we've had in a long time. And that's it. 1 or 2 changes away. You know, a couple items removed, take out the mythics, revert chest spawns. People are dancing all day long about how amazing the season of competitive Fortnite is. And the reality is all we can do is just sit here and hope that Epic and the higher ups who are involved in making these decisions can actually help us in getting that change that we want. Because, you know, it's one of these things where, you know, we're always going to enjoy competitive Fortnite. You know, we have rough seasons and whatnot, but we all stick around at the end of the day. It's just, if we're able to be in a position where there's not much in the game for us to complain about, then you can start to really put emphasis and focuses into the things around the competitive community that needs to be improved. Because, you know, apart from the actual game and the meta, there are things that we need to improve on as a community. But, you know, we spend so much time focusing on what needs to be changed about the game that we don't spend enough time focusing about these things around the community that will make the competitive scene better as a whole. So hopefully we can see some positive changes coming soon. In some other news, Misfits, Ops did not re-sign to Misfits. Ops has left Misfits and he has officially joined TSM, which is great. Congrats to Ops. I'm sure it's down below. There's some other transfer news as well that you'll be able to see down below on the little news ticker. But congrats to Ops. I thought it was really important to mention this just because TSM is, you know, they've been making some news recently. They have been one of the sleeper orgs, it seems like for me, in competitive Fortnite in the past couple months slash year really. When you look at TSM as an organization, there's not much hype around them in Fortnite. And in my opinion, for no reason, because you look at the history that they have in a competitive Fortnite, come into competitive Fortnite with the hottest team in the world, point blank period, right? You pick up Myth, you pick up Daquan, you pick up Hanlons, pick up Camille's, and you have this juggernaut of a team, you know, that at the time, in the early days was, you know, competing well in scrims. Obviously their event results weren't amazing, but still, the hype around TSM was amazing. Everybody, you know, wanted to be a part of TSM. Now that's not necessarily the case. If you remember back a couple months ago, I did a survey amongst top pro players, and I'm talking top of the top. Some of the actual TSM members took part in my survey as well. And I asked players, hey, if you could join any org in Fortnite right now that's not the org you're currently on, which org would you join? And not a lot of people said TSM. You know, not as much as you'd expect. And I hope the perception of TSM is starting to slowly change, and I hope, you know, they're continuing to build up that hype and that momentum around them, because they are an amazing org. TSM are amazing. and they're doing amazing things. And congrats to them. Congrats to Ops. Their roster's looking good, and super big congrats to them. Also, if you care about this, Ninja is back on Twitch. Ninja officially has gone back to Twitch. He made an announcement on Twitter about that. So that is that. All in all, though, we got the new Mythic POI. Star Labs, Star Industries has been added to the game. No Mythic items were added. None of the new Mythic items that were added to the base game have been added to Arena, thankfully. And all in all, we hope we can see some more positive, changes come to the game in the near future. Good luck to all the people competing in DreamHack NA West, DreamHack NA East, DreamHack EU, all the events coming up in the next couple of weeks.